You said a couple of days ago, I think this is going to happen. So given the breaking news this evening, do you still stand by that?
Well, first of all, I'm a little concerned about the interview now with you, because apparently this is what's going to help determine the outcome. But I think that, look, the president's a master negotiator. He is the author of The Art of the Deal. I don't know that we've seen the end of this summit on June 12th, but I think he's made it very clear that unless Kim Jong-un makes the appropriate concessions before the United States sits down face to face with him, there will be no meeting. And I think that's entirely appropriate.
Yeah.
The president recognizes that 90% of what Kim Jong-un wants is this face-to-face meeting. He wants to be seen as a legitimate world leader, and the president won't give it to him unless he makes the appropriate concessions and denuclearizes the Korean Peninsula.
But, you know, clearly there were assurances given when you see the photographs with Mike Pompeo and Kim Jong-un, right? And then you also look at the, you know, very sort of friendly hop-skipping over the curb at the Blue House in North Korea with the South Korean and North Korean leader. I mean, it was pretty clear to the world that Kim Jong-un wanted to move in the direction of this summit. But the president keeps referring back to the possibility that the second meeting with President Xi in China is when things sort of started to fall apart. And we're learning that the communication really started to break down several days ago. Your thoughts?
Well, I think you're right, in the sense that you had 3 hostages released to the United States in an act of good faith. Mm-hmm. You had an attempt to show the Western media this dismantling of a nuclear site. Those were clearly done to show that the Chairman Kim was taking the right steps. But I think that he overestimated President Trump's desire to have this meeting. And President Trump was pretty clear that until he saw additional concrete steps and concessions that showed that North Korea was truly going to denuclearize the peninsula, he wasn't going to grant this meeting. And that's the important part. The United States and President Trump, by the way, has made this clear since the beginning, where he has said, you know, if we get a deal, great. If we don't, we won't, and we might still, you know, there's still an opportunity. President Trump's kept all the cards on the table. He's made it very clear that there are conditions that are going to have to be met before he grants him this meeting, and I think he's played them perfectly.
Yeah, I mean, and with regard to our interview, what Vice President Pence said to me in that interview lined up, as I said, with things that President Trump had said prior to that they wanted complete denuclearization. The president at one point said that, you know, they didn't want the Libya model, which is complete denuclearization. But I think he was referring to what happened later to Muammar Gaddafi, and that they were giving essentially security to Kim Jong-un, that isn't how he would end up. I just want to point out, we're getting some brand new information as we speak here, Sean, and a little bit more light being shed on their recent statement tonight. Leader Kim Jong-un had focused every effort on his meeting with President Trump. And they say that the president's decision today did not match with the world's desire. So it clearly appears that they're trying to reopen this door. And before I get your comment on that, I just want to play this, because the media had a field day today with the letter that came out and the response, you know, basically suggesting that this had all blown up in the president's face. And here's what they said.
The president was rehearsing his end zone dance, and we weren't even at the 50-yard line yet.
It's amazing to me that the administration is somehow shocked that the North Koreans are acting as North Korea acts.
He must be having a giggle fit right there now in North Korea. The copy of the president's letter chumming up is kind of like a Valentine to Kim Jong-un. Really? Really?
Really? What do you think, Sean?
Well, really, I don't think we've seen the end of this. I think President Trump understands how to negotiate better than anybody because of his business background. I don't think that we've seen the end of this. He did exactly what no one thought he would do. He told from the beginning, if I can make this deal work, great. If not, I'll walk away. He's already shown he can walk away. Now Chairman Kim has to come back to the table, and I think we're going to see additional concessions. My guess is that there's a lot of chapters to be written in this book, because President Trump has shown that he can walk away from a bad deal. Chairman Kim understands that until he gets this meeting, he continues to be seen as a third-rate dictator. He needs to be seen as a credible leader, and President Trump isn't going to do anything to grant him that until he exhibits real concessions ahead of time. So I know that Director Pompeo, John Bolton, and President Trump know exactly what they're doing, and I think that some of these Democrats that are coming out are getting way too out in front of of a story that hasn't seen the end yet.
What about, you didn't mention Vice President Pence in that group. Do you think he stepped out of line at all in that interview?
No, and I apologize with all due respect to the vice president. That's my fault. But I think that it's a great team that they're all part of. They know what they're doing. This is a long game, and I think that they all understand the stakes that are at hand, and that they're not going to grant North Korea a face-to-face meeting that gives the legitimacy until that they make the concessions necessary, real, concrete things. President Trump isn't done with this.
Sean Spicer, thank you. Good to see you as always. Thanks, Sean.
Thanks, Martha.